you listen to Jeff and Professor Hamo in the morning? Here's what you missed.
I told you.
It is smoking.
But
we're about to jump into the ocean now.
DJ Koinage himself.
My
goodness.
We're about to jump into the ocean.
Let's do
because
this.
later this month, Prof, later this month,
yes,
there's a huge conference. First time ever that it's happening. And Kenya pitched for it and we got it. It's called the Blue Economy Sustainable something or other, but it's huge.
It's huge.
It's bringing together 8 presidents so far.
The fact that the president himself pitched
more than 6,000 delegates. It's going to happen later this month, and we're going to talk about the blue economy. And you know, for many of you may not know what the blue economy is. Like Prof, you didn't know.
I didn't have an idea.
You had no clue.
Yes.
To join us, help us dissect this and talk more.
Yes.
We're joined by Josephine Jambi or Jambe. Is it Jambe?
Jambe.
She's a Foreign Service Officer and co-chair of Sustainable Blue Economy Conference. Wow. And then there's Louisa Rauta, Youth Development Officer at the State Department for Youth Affairs. They're smart women, huh? And then there's Alex Mall's son, Peter Mall. He's chairman of the board, CEO and founder of World Leaders of Today, where they say stand up and shout out. Folks, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you guys, and thank you for coming over. Blue economy. Very many of us have no clue what that is. Please, Josephine, explain to us, what's the blue economy?
The blue economy is essentially looking at our oceans and seas and trying to put our eyes off the land economy and looking at what opportunities are there for our economy in our oceans and seas and all navigable waterways.
Which we have not exploited for the most part, right?
Yes. For the most part, yes.
I mean, we see Chinese trawlers, and I hate to mention Chinese, but there are trawlers out there fishing in our oceans without permission, basically, right? And they do that all over the world. Oh, you're not responding. It's fine. Louisa,
yes.
What does this mean, having this conference here? What does it mean?
It means a lot to us, especially for the young people, because we're organizing a youth side event, and for this it's big in terms of it's a concept that is not needs to be highlighted. It's not really new, but people really don't know so much about it. So for young people, we want to create awareness around the blue economy, what it is, the opportunities available, and what is in it for them, especially in terms of employment. There's vast opportunities in it, from fishing to transport to tourism and recreation. There's a lot. So we need them to know what it is and what is in it for them. And them being creative, they'll move from the traditional, the traditional industries that are known, especially like fishing. There's a lot to it. There's a lot more.
Absolutely. So on the sidelines of this conference, Peter Mall, is a youth conference as well, right? Tell us about it.
So basically, the youth are not the leaders of tomorrow, the leaders of today, right? We need to be at the forefront of all our policy making, on all our decisions, and the implementation of our society. So the government, thankfully, put together a combined committee to host a side event for youth, focused on youth. Because you have to understand, there's 51 side events for this Blue Economy Conference.
Wow.
There's bilateral and multilateral committee meetings, conferences, etc. But the government actually had the political will to say, you know what, youth need to be at the forefront. So the side event is going to be basically a conference filled with music, engagement, panelists, discussions, awareness creation. But the main thing is, we want the recommendations from the youth. What do they think about the blue economy? What do they see their role in the blue economy? And what can they do? So their recommendations will then be given to all these international governments, the local governments, the ministries, and what can we do going forward?
And when you speak to the young folks, are they aware of this conference? Are they aware of their role in this?
I always say that youth is not one demographic. There's different types of youth. So I would say majority of youth are not aware of blue economy. And they don't understand what blue economy, and it's the language we're using. We have to use better language, right? And so they are passionate youth. There are passionate youth out there who want to be part of this. And we're looking at 700 youth and that's even limiting it.
Wow.
So people are aware, but we can do more, and that's why we're here today.
Yeah, Josephine, explain to us what's going to happen. When does it start? How many people are we expecting? All that stuff. Break it down for us.
So the main conference is having over 6,000 people attending, and on the sidelines we are going to be having, now the youth side event is going to have close to 700 participants, drawn from different should I say demographics, meaning the international community, NGOs, governments, civil society. We're bringing together everybody on board who can talk about, who can demystify what the blue economy is, and of course the youth from also our counties along the blue economy. Sectors in our country, the coasts, around the lakes, essentially to spur up the conversation about what are the opportunities that are there for the young people, and begin to have that conversation. How can we get them more engaged and leverage on the resources?
I was actually in Marsabit County not too long ago, right? In Olayangalani, and you see the lake there, Lake Turkana.
Yes.
Completely unexploited.
Exactly.
It's so much. It's just there. I mean, the fish, the Nile perch in there or whatever is in there, it's just sitting there. And okay, let's talk about building a factory, and canning the fish and exporting. But it's all talk for the most part, which is so sad, huh? Go on, Peter. You want to say something?
Yeah, and actually, right now in Lake Turkana and the Turkana area, they're actually looking at sustainable energy. And actually, the president is releasing solar power plant and a windmill plant. And I feel like this is an opportunity, because where power goes, opportunity also can follow. And I feel that one thing that I always say is that poverty is a mindset. And so we need to break the mentality of youth for them just thinking like a horse with a tunnel vision and actually looking at the broader perspective. And through this conference that's happening on the 28th of November at Taifa Hall, we really want to open the minds of youth to see the potential that they have, unleashing their potential.
And in that regard, how do you get to tell this story? Umesema blue economy, in a sound kitu ingine foreign sound. For youth. Look, I'm here. Mimi sijui nini mnaongelea.
And this is an excellent opportunity for you to come to this youth side event actually, so that we talk about exactly what is blue economy. And one of the presenters we're going to have is going to be actually demystifying that concept. What exactly is blue economy, and break it down and look at what are the opportunities that are there again.
So if someone
because it's beyond fishing, it's beyond just what you can get from the waters. It's all that other tertiary economies that are brought about by the water bodies. And blue economy is huge. It's just not fishing.
So if someone's listening to you for the first time, what do you tell them? They just heard, what do you tell them about the 20?
So one thing you have to understand, when we're talking about blue economy or sustainable blue economy, a month ago, I don't know if you heard about the climate conference, where they said in 12 years, our oceans will rise, we'll have 3 degrees more. You understand? 3 degrees more. So in 12 years, how old will you be? In 12 years, I'll be 12 plus 26, I'll be 38, right? So you're telling me by my 38th birthday, the world will be ending and it wouldn't be sustainable for me to live my dreams. So you tell someone, you know what? You need to conserve your blue economy. You need to exploit your blue economy. You take advantage of finding ways of making money from conserving your blue economy, because it's not just about you. It's about the fact that we need to preserve our world and our oceans and our blue economy, our lakes, our rivers, our source of life. And if we don't preserve that, no matter whether you care or not, if you have dreams, in 12 years, they'll be obsolete.
So we're trying to really spark a conversation that brings about the balance of exploitation of the blue economy and sustainability. So it's essentially merging the two pillars of how we can exploit our blue economy and how we can conserve or sustainably use our blue economy. And within that as well, look at how we can now begin to elevate poverty, because the UN Sustainable Development Goals are very clear about leaving no one behind, and we need to be very inclusive, and the youth are part of the marginalized demographic of our society. So how do we bring them on board as we exploit the blue economy? That's the kind of conversation that we're going to be spurring at the Youth Blue Economy side event.
Louisa, you want to add to that?
You were asking a question about how if I didn't get it wrong, getting the people mashinani to understand in this case.
Correct.
We want to demystify this, because right now somebody's here. We've just explained what it is, blue economy, but other than the conference, not everyone will come to the conference. We'd love to have more, but like she said, we're spurring conversations around this. That's why you'll see we are here. We have in social media handles, we have documentations around this place. But beyond this, we are bringing young people from counties. So we expect them when they come here, they take it back down to they're like there'll be the leaders around this blue economy, and we're also engaging the Council of Governors in this. So we want counties that are have inland waters that can be exploited to come on board, so that they understand what this is and take it, spread the word out there, sensitize young people. So we want mtu mwenye ako Turukana aelewe ni nini. Yes, just the same way we had green economy, we're exploiting it, but we also have blue economy. We want them to understand that. It's not big. It's just about the waters. It's as simple as that.
Josephine.
And that's where the State Department of Youth has been very, very helpful with regard to tapping into the potential of the young people. And we're going to be having exhibitions as well around what are the resources that have been used or are being used by young people, and what are they doing with the blue economy. So the State Department of Youth actually is sponsoring some exhibitions, because besides the conference, on the sidelines will be having exhibitors, and the State Department of Youth has been very gracious to sponsor some of the youth from around the regions where they have blue resources to come and exhibit at the conference.
So it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And
the fact that we are talking to the youth.
Kuna State Department. I didn't know there was a State Department for youth.
Look at this young people. So that they see who are talking about the blue economy.
For sure.
Nobody would have thought.
In our time.
Yes.
Professor.
Yes.
And you're a professor.
I am.
And you've never heard of blue economy.
No, I had no idea, because I was not making money from it. So this is an area I need to exploit. And when you're talking about sensitization, these are people you need to talk to who have the numbers to sensitize. Hallelujah. Am I talking to the yes.
And the youth make a very big percentage of our demographic.
60%.
More, yeah.
So
60% under 35.
Exactly.
And we want them, when they come, they see the opportunities. And since young people are known to be innovative and creative, somebody will come there, even if you don't attend, but once you understand, you see the opportunities, they'll be like, I can come up with this. So we want them to bring out that creativity. And that's one of the things I expect in a young person. There'll be a lot of networking. There'll be other partners on board, not necessarily government. So you could meet a young person while networking, could meet somebody who will be like, you have an idea, and be like, I have this idea.
Are we talking about youth from across the world will be here?
It's a global conference.
It's a global
Nice.
conference.
Oh, not just Africa. I mean, it's fantastic.
We want them to contribute to the GDP of the country.
And also,
Go on.
and also, one thing that we're also trying to do is that we don't want people to talk about youth. We want people to talk with youth. And that needs to be the change. Too much youth were used as a symbol in people's mouths, but talk to us.
Here's an interesting question from Mitch Kitoy, right? He says, the Blue Economy Conference is a great initiative involving the youth, making it even better. But the question is, after this sensitization, what kind of support will be given to those youth who are interested, or the conversation ends there?
We are definitely not planning to have the conversation in there. It is something that we are discussing, but once it's firmed up, we'll let the young people know. But during our planning meetings, that was raised, that after this, we know we've held so many conferences from TICAT, HLM2, and so many others, which there have been follow-ups, but we wanted this to be different. So we are looking into a number of activities and programs But once we farm it up, we'll let people know. But action plans around the sustainability.
Don't leave them hanging. Don't leave them hanging.
And I can tell you one thing that even as the civil society and as NGO, we're working with the government not just to hold them accountable, but to empower and to build capacity. And I can tell you right now that this is going to be different. They want to bring in the different departments that are working in the ministries that are interlinked to youth, to blue economy, sustainable blue economy, so that something does happen after the conference. That the recommendations that are given, though they are recommendations, some will be taken on and actually implemented.
Good. It's not just a talk shop, huh? Because people always complain it's a talk shop.
Yeah, this is totally different. This is not a talk shop because we're going to be having experts, and the recommendations that will come out of the youth side event are going to be part of the bigger recommendations, and experts will be there. Interrogating, guiding, helping us just critique what opportunities are there for the young people, and then of course the government there is as an enabler will try to see how can we now make this a reality.
Okay.
There's a tweet here from Edwin or Chubi who says, how will the meeting solve the issues of free waters, secure waters, the inaccessible waters like the hyacinth-infested Lake Victoria, pollution in waters, etc. So how is this conference going to?
One of the thematic areas is actually climate change and pollution, and we actually invite the person who tweeted to join us and to actually find the solutions.
Yes.
One thing that I've always found about young people, and the majority, is that we love to be commentators and we don't like to participate. So I really want to encourage people that ask the questions, but come, participate, be part of the solution. But I can tell you that one of also the thematic areas of the main conference is maritime security. And so that's also about freeing the waters and making sure that it's accessible. And actually, with having a division, we have a division in Kisumu, and we do know that hyacinth is actually a big issue. So this is something we need to be innovative, and like Louisa said, youth need to be innovative and are innovative. And this is when we need the creative thinkers, those who are told that maybe in school you weren't good enough, but now this is your space to come and be creative and find those solutions.
And is everyone invited? These numbers, 700. Do you already have these 700?
Or
is it an open?
Because it's an
how do you walk into us?
So because it's an international conference, obviously there is some protocol, but we are allowing and letting and encouraging everyone to sign up, and hopefully you'll tweet the link so they can sign up and they will get their badge, and also they'll be able to email. We'll give the email later, and then they will be part of the youth.
How do they sign up?
There is the registration. There's a website. Let me get it for you.
So there is the website.
www.blueeconomyconference.go.ke/delegates -registration.
Your take.
I can start again. Brother, before you take it again. NGO imeanza na thematic. Akatuchanganya kwa thematic. Hapo sasa yako. Thematic. Sasa tuchapie.
www.blueeconomyconference.go.ke. If they go there,
it's okay.
Exactly. Right?
Exactly.
BlueEconomyConference.go.ke. Waingie kutoka hapo. Otherwise //forward. All right. So, Louisa, what do you do when you're not planning conferences? What do you do in your other life?
In other life in the
your real life,
my real life,
yes.
or in the department.
Did you say your real life?
In my real life.
I think it's hot.
So in your real life,
Okay, having I work in the department that is charged with youth empowerment and development. So we are all about ensuring that youth are mainstreamed in all matters national development, and ensuring we lobby and advocate for the promotion of engagement of young people in all aspects. And also we are charged with the management of policies. So we normally participate in formulating policies, for example the employment policies. Currently we're working with the National Youth Policy, which is in draft form, but soon it will be out, and we are going around and doing public participation for young people's input and other stakeholders.
Yeah. So do you think it's working? You think youth are being included?
Yes, right now that's the conversation, and thanks to our president who was recently appointed as the UN Global Youth Champion, I think there'll be listening ears, and it didn't. Unfortunately, it shouldn't have to take the president being appointed that so that people listen. But like Jambi said, we don't want to leave anyone behind, and for us, we don't in a lot of activities on the ground.
How about you, Josephine?
What I do in my real life.
Yes.
Or in my job. In the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I'm in the African AU department. But essentially, what we are charged with as a ministry is the protection and promotion and the projection of Kenya's foreign policy. And blue economy is something that our president is very keen on, and he's the first diplomat that we have as a country, and so we are charged with making sure that what the first diplomat is passionate about, we get passionate about, and that's why we are part of this conversation as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Wow, I believe you.
And Peter Moore, what is the World Leaders of Today?
So World Leaders of Today is an international NGO. I founded a movement called Stand Up Shout Out in 2013. 5 years later, we're in 22 countries, 38 cities, and basically it deals with youth empowerment and youth engagement. Youth empowerment gives a young person the skills, mentality, training, understanding, and belief in themselves that they can be a leader of today. Young people are isolated from society. We want to show young people that they can be part of society, to give them hope. We're a generation, I call it the lost generation, but we will have hope and we'll be part of society. Now, after you empower someone, what's next? We do youth engagement. Youth engagement is giving them opportunities for their dreams, opportunities for their talents, where they can now, whether they learn their skills in tertiary education, whether they learned it from their family, whatever it is, whatever skill you have, you can use it to improve the society, to make a living, or to just change the world.
Absolutely.
And we believe, like I say, youth are the leaders of today. Tomorrow is not promised.
Oh, wow. Nice. By the way, if you want to get involved, www.blueeconomyconference.go.ke. Get on board. The conference is later this month, and if you're interested in Blue Economy, this could be for you. Kipleting Collins says, wow, young and eloquent. Your values are the soul of your leadership, and they drive your behavior. Good news from these lads. Well done.
Moselina, listening in from Massachusetts, Kino.
Massachusetts, no.
Great conversation.
Yes. Alafu Ruth Rims anauliza, by the way, Harmony Prof wa nini?
Stupid ontology. It's a medical area.
It's called what?
Stupid ontology. The study of human stupidity.
Yes.
Which is rampant. See what I'm saying? No wonder you and all those nations trying to feed out of that.
No, it's true. People are hungry. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Eric Luango is saying, you guys are doing really well, but break it down to the common mwananchi in Kiswahili so that ule mse ako karibu na lake
Thematic.
Ajue. Thematic. Go on, Louisa. Louisa, break it down. Break it down, Louisa.
Hii blue economy ni nini?
Economy ya blue.
Ni nini? Umetuchanganya hapa.
Economy ya blue inahusu maneno ya maji. Simply put, maneno ya maji, vile wananchi haswa vijana wanaweza shughulika, wanaweza husika na maneno ya maneno ya kazi, kupata kazi katika
maji yetu.
Katika maji yetu. Mabahari.
So ni bahari, mito ama mito hakuna?
Mito pia iko.
Kwa hivyo kuna mito, kuna bahari, kuna ziwa, kuna michecheto fulani. Yes.
Hayo yote.
Mkorogo vyogo wa mambo haya. Ni kama blue economy.
Mkorogo what now?
Mkorogo vyogo wa mambo haya yote ya maji.
Asante sana. Vile tuko na
niulize swali tu. Hii maji kama borehole, unavyochimba maborehole, mabawa haya. Sijui kama is it part of the blue economy? Rivers, underground rivers.
No.
Hakuna kitu kama hicho.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Sasa vile vijana saizi wamesikia mengi kuhusu green economy. Sasa tuko na blue economy. Green economy ni
land economy.
Land, yeah, agriculture, land in agriculture, but sasa tunaongea juu ya blue, maji.
Yes.
Unajua mara mingi maji inaonekana ukidepict maji ni blue.
Yes.
Sasa so blue economy hivyo.
Kwa hivyo we are giving watu options.
Na tunataka wajue about it first.
Yes.
Tunataka wajue blue economy ni nini. Alafu sasa tuanze kutoka hapo. Wakishaelewa wanafaa kujua mazuri, mabaya na vile tunaweza kushughulikia hayo mabaya. Na tunataka hawa vijana waje wapeane maoni na pia wapeane maoni vile tunaweza tap into tumia maji yetu. Wamejua sana ni maneno ya uvuvi, but kuna mingi sana. Tunataka wakuje wasikize na wajue. Na pia sila wale wenye hawezi kuja kuna mazungumzo wanaweza tupata kwa
tuvuti
Youth in Blue Economy.
Yes, Youth Blue Economy.
Blue economy.
Na pia tuna encourage vijana kama huwezi kuja soma. Unajua pia tunataka vijana watafute haya information.
Yes, information.
Watafute, tunataka kuencourage vijana. Sasa umesikia, sasa enda kwa YouTube, kwa Google. Tafuta hii blue economy ni nini. Maybe hauta manage kuja. Sasa utafuta na maybe wewe mwenye haukukuja, wewe ndio maybe utakuwa more successful kushinda hata mtu mwenye attend the conference. So tunataka kila mwananchi, kila kijana ahusike, hata kama utakuwa.
Lakini ili tumrudishe ndugu yangu kwenye conversation. Ni kama tumemtupa Kiswahili. Tumrudishe to the blue economy.
Ni joto.
Kiswahili ambayo unajua ni kweli kabisa. Normal. So I believe it's just another option tunaoneshwa apart from land.
All right, folks.
Na buloti maguta.
As we wind up, folks, I'd like all your thoughts on what you hope, starting with you, Peter, what you hope people to get out of this conference later this month.
One thing that I've always heard from young people is the lack of opportunity. But I think even one thing that Louisa was saying is that we want people to search. We want people to get out of their comfort zone and actually look and go out and look for the information and be hungry and be empowered. One thing that I also find is that youth, they lack the kind of motivation to want more because they feel like that there isn't more for them. So from the Blue Economy Conference, the Sustainable Blue Economy Conference and the youth event, I want young people to be at the table. I want young people to be listened to, actually pure listening, not that listening to reply, listening to understand. And I want young people to be empowered to exploit their potential in the sustainable blue economy, to eradicate poverty, to conserve our climate, to get away from the plastic use, and to actually save the world through their actions.
Wow. Does Alex Moore listen to you? Very nice. Josephine Jambi, what's the take home from this?
Yeah, I think Peter really captured it very well. But for us, beginning the starting of this conversation around how the youth can be included, how the blue economy can be more inclusive, even for the marginalized. If we are able to bring everyone on board, include and leave no one behind, I think we'll have done a great job. And that's why on the 28th of November at Taifa Hall from 9 o'clock to noon, we'll engage policymakers, we'll engage the youth, we'll have a conversation that is very, very inclusive for all the stakeholders that are involved in the youth side event.
Fantastic. And finally, Louisa Rauta, you have the closing words.
Yes, resonating what Peter and Jambi have said, I'd like to see young people coming out of here as champions who are able to harness the potential of the blue economy. And also, I'm looking forward to having, through the networks and all, we develop partnerships that will revolve around this issue, because we need, for us to develop and empower these young people, we need finance, we need expertise, we need to capacity build these young people. So it's we need all these resources to be brought together. Now, whatever that was taken in other economic sectors, now if they could now channel just a little bit or more bit to the blue economy, but we need all that. We need all the partnerships.
Absolutely. And once again, folks, if people are just tuning in right now, tell us when's this Blue Economy Conference and this youth side event?
So the Blue Economy Conference starts on the 26th through to the 28th.
Of November.
Yes, of November. But the youth side event is happening on the 28th of November from 8 o'clock. We start at 8 o'clock until noon at Taifa Hall at the University of Nairobi. Yeah.
And just to add on, there will be an awareness walk. There will be a march on the 23rd of November. Around town, from KSAC around town, to engage the Wananchi, the citizens, and to also engage more youth, because 700 for the conference is a lot, but it's not enough. So as a committee, we decided to do an awareness walk, and if you want to be part of that, please just follow us on the Twitter and you'll find out more.
Excellent. And also, if you want to get involved or participate, go to www.blueeconomyconference.go.ke. Josephine Jambi, Louisa Rauta, Peter Moll, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Keep doing what you do. You guys are not the future. Like Peter said, you are the present. Fantastic. Well done.
Catch Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.